that opt-out option is buried under a submenu within the privacy. Go check it out. Massively affected by something that an AI startup, Anthropic is still a startup by the way. I have to apologize for how late this episode of This Week in Tech India is. Normally the episode drops on this channel every Sunday morning. I was sick. Thank you for all those who reached out to me asking if I'm okay. I'm feeling a lot better. My throat is still a bit hurting and my voice is still raspy. Please bear with me for this video. I can't delay this much longer because you need to stay informed about tech in India. Why? One reason is that last week, the Supreme Court reminded all of us that WhatsApp does not take privacy seriously at all. Very quick bit of context before we get to the news. WhatsApp quickly became the dominant messaging platform all over India. It started at a time where BBM was fading. Text messages were still either being charged or were so clunky you could not send rich media across text messages. WhatsApp was free, mass adopted. In 2014, Facebook, which is now Meta, Facebook bought WhatsApp for what was an ungodly amount of money, which it became very clear why they bought WhatsApp. They wanted to use and they want to continue to use user data from WhatsApp to target advertisements and make far more money across these other platforms. And that was kind of made explicit in 2021 with WhatsApp's own privacy policy update, where it stated clearly that by default, user data was being shared with the parent company Meta to be used by other platforms to target ads. And this was the subject of a penalty that the Competition Commission of India put on WhatsApp. There was an instruction to stop sharing data with WhatsApp, unfortunately successfully appealed. But this came to a head last week, and this is the bit of news that the Supreme Court of India slammed WhatsApp, telling them in as many words that they are making a mockery of the constitution, that they are exploiting data of users in India and that they are not taking privacy seriously enough. WhatsApp was instructed to take privacy more seriously, otherwise they were told that they can opt out of India, the way they say that users can opt out of data sharing. Now, a couple of things to unpack here. One is that as a privacy consultant, and I have been one for many years, I can tell you that if you as a platform take user privacy seriously, opt out will not be your default. What I mean by that is if I am Mark Zuckerberg and I am offering a service to you, my messaging platform to you, by default, I should not collect your data to use for any other purpose other than instant messaging between you and your contacts. By default, it should be an opt-in situation, which means that if I want to use your data for a purpose other than what I'm telling you, that is other than instant messaging, I should inform you, I should give you a notice, and I should ask you to click a button that says you understand what your data is going to be used for and you are okay with it. That is called opt-in, that is called explicit consent. What WhatsApp does is it quietly updates its privacy policy, it uses your data nonetheless, and it tries to argue with the court saying that, oh, you can opt out of it if you want. I've gone and looked, that opt-out option is buried under a submenu within the privacy. Go check it out on your WhatsApp. See how easy it is to opt out. It's not easy. The other thing a lot of people are confused about is that how can WhatsApp share data with Facebook or Instagram, because your WhatsApp chats are end-to-end encrypted. And WhatsApp makes a big deal out of it. Every new chat window opens up says this chat is end-to-end encrypted. Well, I can tell you for sure, and privacy bros will tell you for sure, this means nothing. What can be encrypted can easily be decrypted. And you can be sure that WhatsApp is decrypting your data and using it to sell you ads. Just think about it. Are you sure that if you talk to your friends about mattresses on WhatsApp, maybe not the same day, but a day or two or a week later, you start seeing ads for mattresses on your Facebook profile? Tell me that isn't a coincidence. And big tech will try to rubbish that by saying that, oh, it's just a psychological thing. You're thinking about mattresses, therefore you only notice it when you see ads about mattresses. No, that is not true. I've done the research, I've put in the effort. It is absolutely not true. When they say your phone is listening to you, what they mean is that it's using your data to serve you ads. I made a short video about it earlier on my YouTube channel. That's why you need to stay subscribed to me to stay informed about things like this which affect you on a day-to-day basis. If you haven't already yet, please click subscribe. Anyway, back to the WhatsApp story. There is a bit of a dark side of the story, which is that the Competition Commission of India, which in 2024 issued a penalty of 200 odd crores, also issued an instruction to WhatsApp not to share this data with other meta platforms. WhatsApp, and unfortunately for us, got a stay on this, which means that there was a tribunal that blocked the order from the CCI, which means that legally, as on date, even though the Supreme Court gave them a slap on the wrist, WhatsApp is still allowed to share your data with Instagram and Facebook. The CCI has appealed that decision, and I hope that the Indian regulatory behemoth builds on this momentum to finally issue a cease and desist order to stop sharing user data from WhatsApp to Facebook or Instagram. There's a lot more if you're asking about like what are the privacy risks to individuals. There's a lot more, and it is too much to back into one video. Leave a comment, leave a specific question in the comment, and I promise you I will answer all of them. Moving on to other bits of news from Tech India, the real money gaming ban was a regulatory win from August 2025. The companies that were affected by that were very obviously gambling platforms like Dream11, Winzo, and whatever. One of these companies is Zupee, which was very quick to announce a round of layoffs, blaming the real money game ban. They announced another round of layoffs last week. But almost at the same time, Inc42 reports that Zupee made an acquisition of 40 crores last week. They acquired a micro drama startup. What is more interesting is that in the middle of all these layoffs, this is the second acquisition it has made. In November, it acquired an AI video generating vertical video startup from Australia. I would believe this two bits of news to be true because Zupee in its longer term strategy seems to be pivoting to free-to-play online games, multiplayer games that are free, and vertical video. I don't know how the vertical video thing is going out. We already have Instagram Reels. We do kind of have Facebook video. We have YouTube Shorts. Do we need another vertical video platform? Well, if it's just going to be user-generated content, I don't think Zupee is going to attract a lot of users. If it's going to be something very specific, like content produced by Zupee, made available for users, like an OTT platform, maybe. Zupee does have a standalone app called Zupee Studio, which does have lakhs of downloads. If you use that, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Google has secured an additional 20,000 square feet of office space in Bangalore. One of my more popular short videos from a few days ago is that Google wants to cement and expand its place in India because it very clearly wants all our data, just like WhatsApp does, just like Meta does. But now there's one more angle to the theory, which is that another reason why Google wants to expand its presence in India is because of the Trump administration's H-1B visa restrictions. Until recently, Google would hire thousands, as they do, hire thousands of people in India and take the best of them, or ones that meet a certain business need, to their offices in the United States on an H-1B visa, which is more difficult to do now. So I'm guessing that in the near term, more and more, almost all Google employees hired in India will remain in India and serve Google all over the world. Sounds like cheap labor, unfortunately. I do hope it results in more meaningful jobs though. Moving on to another tech giant, that's Apple. Just last week, it was announced that Apple is going to open its 6th physical retail store in India. Remember, an Apple physical retail store is an experience. It's a marketing case study. I spoke about it in my previous video. Go check it out. There is speculation that Apple is going to open its 7th physical retail store in India. This is going to be in Hyderabad. So what are the signs leading to that speculation? Apple is advertising for jobs like Genius, which is what they call sales executives because they work at a Genius bar, and Store Lead to be based in Hyderabad. Clearly, another company that wants to cement its place and expand in India. By the way, what is not speculated but actually reported, announced by Apple, is that Apple set up something called the Apple Education Hub for supplier employees, which means that they set up a hub, and this is the first time they did that in India in collaboration with the Manipal Academy of Higher Education to actually provide skill-based training to employees of its suppliers. And they said they're going to start with Tata Electronics. There is reporting from Reuters that India, and they didn't say which body, is it the NCPI, the NPCI, sorry, the National Payments Corporation of India, or the RBI or any other regulatory bodies, there is reporting that India is in discussion with Ant Group, a China-based company that runs Alipay Plus, which is kind of like a Chinese version of UPI. And if this is true and if there's some sort of integration happens, it could be possible in the future that we use UPI with countries and merchants that accept Alipay Plus as a form of payment. The immediate and most obvious benefit of that is that us Indians, if we go as tourists to China, we don't have to worry about downloading WeChat or Alipay itself, the app, because like if you travel to China right now, you can't just carry cash. You have to download a whole bunch of apps to be able to even move around. There's a bit more news. You can go check it out on my website. But I do want to end this video with the word of the week from last week, which is something called Saasocolypse, which is a combination of SaaS, software as a service, and apocalypse, which is apocalypse. What happened was on Monday or Tuesday, Anthropic, parent company of Claude Code, by the way, is still the best vibe coding platform. Anthropic announced a new-ish product called Claude Cowork, which means that instead of you vibe coding alone, you and your colleagues or you and your friends can get together and vibe code together to generate code which would normally take engineers months and months to produce. What happened? Shareholders of these IT companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, and a few others started panic selling their stock. And the share prices of these companies tanked so much that they dragged the entire market down with them, literally. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm doing a separate video and a separate post about this, so stay tuned. But just imagine, I want to leave you with this thought from this video. Just imagine that the foundation of your company, which you have been running for so many years on the backs of a lot of hardworking engineers that you have exploited, selling what I call body bag services to American companies that take advantage of cheap labor and the exchange rate. It is so weak that it is so massively affected by something that an AI startup, Anthropic is still a startup by the way, announced. And it's causing ripples. It's making you lose investor confidence. I would say that some people who founded these companies should sit and think about that for a second, but I think they know and I don't think they care, so long as a lot of us work 72 hours a week. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Share this video with your friends so that they can stay informed like you about tech in India. There is a bit more news. Check out the latest post on my website and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next week. Until then, stay curious, stay blessed, and stay informed about tech in India. Bye.